Hello and welcome to this episode of the Ranting Atheist podcast. Today I'd like to share a recording with you of a conversation I had as a guest on the Curious Jonn podcast. During this conversation, I had the opportunity of sharing the long story of how I deconverted from Christianity. And the thing, I felt really good. It felt really good to let it off. But one thing that I learned from that podcast was how to ask better questions. This guy knows how to ask questions, and I really appreciate him for giving me the opportunity to share the longer version of my deconversion story. So once I stop talking, you listen to the recorded session we had over a week ago.
Hello everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Curious Jonn podcast. This is your host, Onome. In this episode, I'll be interviewing a guest. He's a podcaster like me. He goes by the name The Ranting Atheist. I recently checked one of the episodes of his podcast, and I just fell in love with him. Like, his vibe was so, I just liked his vibe so much, and I was like, I need to have this guy on my podcast. And here he is today. Would you like to just give a brief introduction of yourself and what you would like the listeners to know about yourself?
Okay, thanks for having me on. I really appreciate it. I just started this podcast not too long ago, so I'm still very new in the game. I still learn work.
Okay. You learn work, but honestly, your work is so good. I listen to your work and I just loved your energy so much.
It's Google. So basically, I'm a young Nigerian atheist. Yes, they are atheists in Nigeria now. Hallelujah.
Amen.
I'm Lagos based.
Okay.
For personal reasons, I'm not yet fully out and out because of for personal reasons, but my life is not in danger.
All right.
So I'm an engineer. That's my day job. I usually go to site and all that. So in the evening, I sit down and do my thing when I can, record, edit, and all that. So
I'm a civil engineer as well.
Okay. We're in the spirit.
So, would you like to tell us a bit about your religious background and what faith you were raised in?
Okay, I was born and raised in a Christian home. My parents are pastors, so you can understand the shock they are in for whichever day they find out I'm an atheist.
Wait, both of your parents are pastors?
Yes, so.
Wow.
It shocked you.
It shocked me that. All right, go on. That's fantastic.
Really. So, Redeem, so Pentecostal, speaking in tongues, all that. I personally, I didn't get to speak in tongues, but you could always form it lekos, lakas, lako, leko, rabasanda, because you are hearing people speaking it, but saying the Holy Spirit fell on you. But I was kind of serious, kind of. They were forcing me, but I kind of synchronized that. Okay, this is the way. I need to always make sure I'm a better Christian. I always, feeling that guilt that I need to become a better Christian growing up. When I mess up, my parents will say, yeah, it's not good. As after, by the time, maybe it was when I was already older. When I was younger, I could first of all chop cane before they talk to me. That's if they won't have the time for that, depending on their level of their anger.
Okay.
So that's basically, it was Pentecostal training. I went to Christian schools all my life.
Wow.
Primary, secondary, university. So
did they drill you in the Bible like mad?
Funny enough, it was moderate. It's just morning devotion, church, but the whole trying to force pastoral vision on. My father knew that you have to be called, so forcing it on you will not be wise. But you need to at least live a good life so that you will go to heaven. That's his own basis. So it's not by you becoming a pastor. You can be an ordinary worker and you still go to heaven. So you're not called. Don't force it. That was his own.
Okay, that makes sense. So, if you can tell us a bit of how exactly you began to question everything, and what, if you can think of the first moment, and how long how much of that did it take for you to like say, okay, this doesn't really make sense to me anymore. I don't really believe this anymore.
Okay. To get to that point, I need to tell you the seeds that were planted years ago. Because it was 2020. Everything accelerated in 2020, but the seeds have been planted long ago, since around, let me just say, my university days. First of all, the first time I missed a Sunday service was when I was in university. Like, it was an
First time in your life?
Yes, that I missed a Sunday service. Like, I did not go to church unless I was sick and dying, those kind of things. Like, at home, You cannot miss church for anything. At secondary school, all of them Christian school, so you can't miss church for anything. So that was the first. Like, when I didn't miss church, I was like, I did not die, heaven did not fall. The irony of the university I went to, Covenant University, where church was by force. So you can imagine the escapade I had to go through to not go to church, because I was already getting.
That's true. But what exactly happened that day that you didn't go to church?
I went to sleep, man. I played game overnight, and I was like, if I go to church, the chapel, go to chapel. Chapel was a place where people enter trouble. If you don't wear your tie well, you enter trouble. Any small thing, enter trouble. So I hated going to chapel. That's where the seed. Covenant University started making me hate the things of God. I can categorically see that anywhere. Covenant University was one that planted that seed of like, what is all this like? So, but then what I rationalized it was, your own is too much. This is not how to serve God. Like, you people, your own is too much. Do you know? But Covenant University was what made me to start getting irritated about church matters.
Okay.
Do you understand?
I do hear a lot of complaints from people in Covenant University that the legalism is too much.
It's too much.
Do this, do that. If you don't do this, you get in trouble and all of that.
They make teenagers hate church, and they are at an age of confusion. And all you provide is threats. So that's when I started saying, I started taking my tape. Started thinking, do I want to go to chapel and enter trouble today? Do I want to risk it? I saw it as a risk to go to chapel. There was risk.
So if you are somebody that you are elect.
I didn't hear you.
Okay. Yeah, I wanted to address the listeners. If you are listening to this and you are a staff at Covenant University, you know that you are doing Satan's work, or you are driving people away from Jesus.
I'm sorry, they will never listen. They rationalize it. They employ a lot of insane people. That's all I say. A lot of their staff are insane. I don't know where they get them from. Fucking animals. Do you understand? So that was how.
Alright, so just go on with the experience. Let's listen to it.
So that was and that was in 200 level. So from then I was
what year was that?
200 level. That's 2007.
Okay.
2007. So I was like, no, it felt like an adrenaline rush. Like, oh boy, yes, you're a bad guy. So I felt like doing more. So a couple of weeks later, I did more. By the time I got to 300 level, I stopped going to chapel. I started doing like what they call a cameo in chapel. Like, okay, let's just go to chapel. And what me and my friend then, my very good friend at the time, we discovered that they used to sign attendance. So that's part of the threat. That's how they trace people that don't go to church. We discovered that once you sign, you have to continue signing. So we decided never to sign, and we never seen. So we're totally invisible. And those were the days of manual stuff. So that's how chapel was totally out of it. Only class was our concern. So we have to pass. It's why they sent us here. The whole church bullshit was just getting too much for me. But I still believed in a God.
Yeah, of course.
So and because of that, I started looking at people that are spiritual as annoying. I hated spiritual people. I saw them as the people that always go and report to school authority, because actually that's what they were. A lot of spiritually serious people, they like to go and report and put people in trouble and get them expelled. So I started having a disdain for people that are spiritually serious. So I never aspire to be spiritually serious. You can imagine I chose to be lukewarm because I don't want to be like those assholes. That's the way.
Yeah, I get. You saw a lot of
I said
a
there's
lot of
some.
negative things
I said
from
there's. So
the
does
very
it mean if
spiritual
I'm
people.
serious with God, I become an asshole? So let me hold.
Yeah, I understand that.
Let me press brakes more. Yes, I believe in God. Mama she jeje, but they go small.
Mm.
So that's how I live my life, Christian wise, till I left university. So all through NYC, that was just how I was going, just coasting along the Christianity life all the way. Now, before I even graduated, I graduated in 2011. Around 2009 and 10, my parents faced some unnecessary persecution in Redeem. That was another scene where they know there's always this promotion level to move up. But when it was his turn, they slide him because Baba knows Sabi play politics. He knows Sabi draw bar, they grease bar, say my daddy just want to give reputation. My dad does not do that. To even pay my school fees with covenant was a struggle. So he doesn't want to see millions to be paying our daddy in the Lords. Do you understand? They bribe to move up in Redeem. Redeem is,
and this is supposed to be church.
So
and all these things are going on there.
That is there that people are looking at that the guy is a fraud. As he got to where he is, his money he used to get to his top pastorship in Redeem. Redeem is all about the money. My father refused to pay money. That's when I started looking like is this not Adeboye's church? Like no, if anybody is. But that time, what did I do? I rationalized it again. I said, okay, Adeboye is not a monk. Maybe it's his wife and now all the pastors. Because his wife is like what Tinubu is to Lagos is what his wife is in Redeem. She's the Jagaban. Actually, they run that church politically. Whatever she says is final. Daddy cannot even, unless it's a serious issue that he shall find a way. But that woman, if she wants something to happen, she'll make it happen. So those were the periods where I was now like, questions like, how will you not get justice in church? Where else will you get church justice? Is it not church where places? Yeah, now. When I started looking like, it's like church people are assholes, but there's God, or maybe it's this Redeem.
But did you, like, at this moment, did you ask yourself that, okay, when somebody becomes a Christian, they are supposed to receive the Holy Spirit into their life, and they are supposed to have fruits?
I asked that question, like, yes, are they not supposed to be good people? Are they not supposed to be kind people? But what I saw, they were all assholes. My father usually does his own work in the secular. He is a part-time pastor, so he has to hustle to feed his family. The people that were pastors among him, they are the ones that always mess up. Like they are the ones that defraud him in a way. I'll be like, why is it these so-called men of God that always them and money? They are always so all about the money. That was another seed that was planted, but there's still a God. I've not even gone near to Adeboye before I even near God. You understand? God was still untouchable.
Yeah.
So kept on going. Different life circumstances. It was now, that's what you just asked me. It was when I was doing one network marketing business that now I understood that people, network marketing will expose you to motivation. So I'm like, people when they give their life to Christ, but they won't develop themselves, do personal development. See another rationalization. You understand? Not knowing that they can be better people without the whole nonsense church matter. So that was how I rationalized in my own way. That was around 2016. I still believed in God. Adeboye was untouchable. Edeko was still a demigod. All that kind of shit. So that's how I kept on going. So around 2017 or 18. And I post. Now this Buhari era when this whole economy went to shit, when Buhari started behaving like not what we expected, then everybody was like, God will use Buhari for us. 2015, that time there was hope. Now what is happening? All these pastors, they are saying it will better. I looked at,
and it's not getting better.
Now I looked at life since when I left school. I remember the school fees my parents paid. It's not what they even paying in the school at that time. They were already close to 800 then. Things are getting more expensive. What I could buy for 50 naira is almost 150, if not 200 already. Things are not getting better. They fast and pray every January, February in Redeem. I'm like, are these prayers not working? Let's even assume that, Muslims are the ones that are right. Their life should be better than the Christians, so that Christians will go and become Muslims. But everybody is fucked up. What is wrong? Something is wrong somewhere. I said, come. This church, I know fortunately at home, they will force us to go to church, but we know they follow them, so we'll go our way. So I usually go to my office to go and sit down where I am right now. to just go and chill and use internet and browse and learn things instead of being in church. I still believed in God though, but I just felt like some days on and off. That was around 2017, 18. By 2019, I just said, come on, this country is even getting worse and worse. What's religion doing? I said, let me take a break from this Christianity. Let God reveal himself to me. Let me take a break.
Okay.
So I did not go to church. I've not been to church. Okay, I was in church this year, but was it this year? Yes, my dad that dragged me again. You know, understand? But when I say go to church myself for over 2 years now, I've not gone to church. They think I go to church. I either go to my friend's house or I go wherever just to chill out. So I stopped going to church. So looking back now, I can understand the effect of what I did. I was staying away from the programming. Every church service is a programming service.
Yeah, that's
it's just
true.
To reinforce the lie.
The beliefs keep getting reinforced and
no, because,
and all the in fact even all the questions that you can be raising up, like what is going on, what you can hear someone and they'll be saying God is just testing us.
And things like rationalizing different things. So it was that staying away, or that period from around 2019, 2008, towards the end of 2018, 19, then we now enter 2020, the year of accelerated deconstruction. Like January came, hey, happy new year. This year will be better. Me and my mind, I don't do that again. I stopped doing that in 2018. Like, I don't believe in that New Year resolution shit that the day your life will change will be in the middle of the year. If that year is to be changed, if your life, I know all those motivational shit that was already in my head. Like, it's not about happy new year, whatever. And New Year resolution is bullshit because most of the time you always forget about it. So 2020 started, January came. Meanwhile, we started hearing of Wuhan coronavirus. So the reason why I am an atheist today is because of coronavirus. If coronavirus did not happen, I will still be believing. I'll still believe there's a God, even though I don't go to church and still
you would be a theist at least.
But I'll still be feeling that guilt every time I don't go to church, that kind of stuff. But I was still on break from God and church and religion. I didn't even hear God, but God did. So January came, we coasted by. February came, then the first what they call them, that Italian man. Then the lockdown started happening. By March, Adeboye now dropped that message saying God is going to prove himself. I don't know if you heard it that time, that he's going to use it to he wants to show himself. And when I'm like, I say, come on, who vex God like this now? I'm like, I say, why God? Hey, Kukuma in the world now. If they para like this, I don't wonder. Adeboye now dropped another message, which now made me mad. Like, okay, something is wrong here. He now said that God told him that the world is going to go on compulsory holiday. But because he thought that it would be like 9/11 situation, he kept quiet so that they won't say he's a co-conspirator.
Okay.
Do you get? So I'm not like, so that he was now saying because of Interpol and all that. I'm not like, you are afraid of Interpol more than God?
That doesn't make sense.
Something fishy is going down. Something wrong here. But I still let it slide. I moved on. So moving on, when the April lockdown, the whole Nigeria lockdown, but most of the West, Lagos especially, the 30-day lockdown, I was at home browsing internet. Fortunately, internet day. So YouTube was my television. And I stumbled on one video. There's this guy, Leon Lush. He usually pokes fun. Is a kind of, this YouTube commentary genre. He comments on different things on YouTube. There was now Kenneth Copeland. He now started analyzing Kenneth Copeland of his yachts, his plane, his wealth. He now showed one video of him saying people must get their tithes to the church no matter what, whether they have to go down there and put it down themselves. And I'm like, guy, you don't care about the risk they will take. Because I've had this pseudo, what they call it, like, I respect him because of Oyedepo, because of respect I have for Oyedepo. But I'm like, these guys are now so, what the hell is this? This is stupid talk. And I remember that, Oyedepo used to tell us in school, show me your friend and I'll tell you who you are. I'm like, this guy is his friend. So, that means you yourself, you are most likely like him. You get?
That's true.
So, and Oedoko did not fall my hand. By May, he dropped a stupid tweet on his handle saying, if you are, what they call it, I still believe in God, though. If you are, what they call it, if you don't drop your tithes, you'll be under a financial course. Yeah. Oh, more, I was mad. I was in the office. I said, this motherfucker. I didn't even know when he slipped out.
Is that not blackmail or what do you call that?
I was like, we're in a situation, people have lost their jobs. People don't know how they will eat.
And this is what you're saying.
And I'm not like, this country, is it not enough financial cost already? To be born in this country, is it not enough financial cost? The country is getting worse per day. Is it not a financial cost already? I'm like, what is wrong with these pastors? What the hell? What rubbish? What madness? As I was just like, June, there was no churches were still locked down. Abi? I think June was June. It was until September. That's how you go every Sunday. And the government is started attacking the church. And I always tune into the church. I'm like, what is wrong with this man? Schools are locked, mosques are locked, events businesses are destroyed. You are only talking that it's the church that they are attacking. July, same thing. August, same thing. So in between that June, July, August, I watched a video. There was this video on God's God. There's this channel, Dark Matter. Exactly. Dark Matter 25, so that's 25, 25. So that's hot water before I got to that Dark Matter point. And I saw this God's God. That video started analyzing the whole. It was kind of a joke. Like there's this character of God and one angel that is called Jeffrey. They were fighting him and God.
I know the video.
So the story now said, man is God. Me, I'm not like, man, you Igbo guys, you Igbo people, man. Push your. I just like, well, you guys are entitled to your own opinion. Me, my own mind.
The way you guys used to
I was rationalizing it. I said, okay. And I saw Buddha, Krishna. I said, all those gods are fake. But me, I know that.
Your own is the real one.
I did laugh myself. I still remember that day. I was just laughing, but I was like, but my own God is the real God. Okay. I said it to myself internally. Like, but God is the real God. So all this one you are talking, Sha. Now you sabi, all those other guys are fake. They are made up, they worship statues and all that. Just rationalizing in my head. It was now when I now kept on watching. I watched the Samson, I watched that one did not move me. It was that Genesis 38 story, the most censored part of the Bible. That was my what the fuck moment. Like, holy fucking shit.
Is that not Onan's story?
Yes, that was it.
Yeah,
because before then, I don't know which, before I got to that video, I remember there was a time I was chatting with a colleague and I told him that if aliens should exist, if we find out that aliens are real, religion is a lie. I remember that statement. So when I now look back, I mean, like, I didn't even have to look. I didn't have to look far. Yeah? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Okay, yeah. I said I didn't have to look for it. I said that if aliens exist, then religion is a lie. That was what I was just chatting with my friend that day. But I didn't have to look so far. I just had to look into the Bible. So there we had the Genesis 38. And the part that made me go mad was the part of where God killed this guy for not coming inside his dead brother's wife. I was like, no. This is human. This is too much. I had to analyze the video, be sure this is not the work of the devil. All those seeds have been planted in my brain as auto-defense systems. To say that the devil is moving, the devil, and this is the end time. The end time is always, it don't take. This is over how many years now? I'm over 30 and I've been here end time since I gained consciousness. End time. That was where the whole questioning started. It was Genesis 38 that broke through the door. The crack has already been there. I don't know what created the crack. That's why I had to tell you from 2007 that time. The seeds have been planted all the way, but the breakthrough was Genesis 38 through that cartoon. That's why they say that facts tell, but stories sell. That video was a story. It told the story of what was inside the Bible that we were never told, and I don't think we'll ever be taught in this life if I was still a Christian tomorrow. because I'm like ejaculating. That is, I don't know. Maybe because
But I want to cut in a bit.
Okay.
So there are some Christians now that would listen to everything that you have said now.
Yeah.
And they'll just say, you don't know God, you never knew God, you never had the Holy Spirit. That if you had the Holy Spirit, that's what all these things would happen to you. You're not grounded in your faith. You know the way you should have heard talks like this before. Like, what do you want to say to this type of people?
There's nothing I can say that they will listen. I will tell them a fact that they are rationalizing. But I can't get through the indoctrination because I was also on that side. And this story is we only get through to those that are questioning and those who are newly out. Do you understand? So those who are still soaked and dripping in the blood of Jesus right now will see me and laugh. I'm not even sure they will get this far to of the story that I'm sharing right now.
Yeah.
So I see it as a waste of time. So when I have arguments with Christians, they think I'm trying to I'm not trying to convert you.
To deconvert them, right?
Yeah, deconvert them. Yeah. It's the person that's watching us that I give a damn about. The people I understand that they're like, how dare this person question God? Is it possible to question God?
And you even know that when somebody is talking to you, when you're having an argument with someone, the person is just trying to let me just counter this person.
Yes, now me, I'm about who we see
this person. So what you say doesn't really sink into them. Yeah. It is that person that is sitting down calmly, and the person is not trying to counter anybody. That's the person that is going to actually listen and see what is going on.
Exactly. So it's not about the opponents in quote. So
yeah, that's
Genesis 38. So I moved on to slavery. To slavery that now even I know now. This is human beings owning now. They are saying, okay, maybe it's out of context. Read it like this, or read it like that, or everything still says slavery. And slavery, King James can be deceiving. It will say servant. So you can easily, somebody else can do this logic that when Paul was saying, I am a slave for Christ, that is the same context. And I said, context in what way? How will you flog your somebody that is serving you, per se? Like you are flogging like a dog, like a worthless.
And as long as they don't die, they won't be punished. They don't die in, is it 3 days or 2 days?
Within a day or two, yeah. Exodus 21.
Yeah, true.
You can imagine. Those were the things that were moving on. The next one was now genocide. Joshua. I will never name my child Joshua if it's like Joshua is a genocidal maniac.
Joshua is a quite common Christian name.
They don't understand the meaning of the name. It's the wall of Jericho that they are looking. Joshua is a genocide. This guy kill people.
But let me cut in again. There are some Christians that are going to listen to this Joshua part now, and they'll be like, but these people were performing child sacrifice. The last episode that I did was on this topic.
Yeah.
They were doing child sacrifice, they were doing bestiality, all these things. They deserve to die. Like, why didn't you look at it from that point of view?
But you killed babies now. What will babies know? The babies that were in that someone will adopt, do they know the life of their parents?
Exactly.
They know the life of their
one
parents.
thing that I haven't tried to do, I learned this from Pine Creek's channel. When you are talking about all these passages, try to remove God's name and put Jesus' name there. That's one. Then secondly, tell them to imagine one of the children to be one of the babies that they know. Especially if you are talking to Christian mothers, like, it is going to disturb them very well.
Yes.
So
I try to shut down the conversation altogether, sir.
Exactly. to achieve maximum effect.
I will try that.
I use those two things.
I don't learn. I get one colleague for here where she just born. Maybe I'll try it or not. But she doesn't attempt to argue with me, especially when I gave her that Onan verse
story.
Her own response, she was blaming Onan, say Onan did not obey completely.
He disobeyed.
He did not obey completely. Yeah. I'm like,
I get that.
I say, indoctrination is so powerful, because I was getting different answers from different. I'm like, all of you say you have Holy Spirit. Those are it's crazy, man.
And you bring up different. Yeah, that's one thing that really troubled me a lot. Like, I don't even know how I used to deal with it before. But it really troubled me a lot because I went deep into apologetics.
Okay.
And I started seeing different type of answers
for the same
from Christians.
The same verses.
And these are not your average day Christians. So these are very deeply committed Christians. I was like, what's going on now? Like, is God is not supposed to be an author of confusion now?
Now the confirm author. I ain't starter. You understand? So the different topics now after genocide, it was now women subjugation, and our brother Paulo, the first Christian or the first general overseer, is the author and principal of that. The whole I suffer not a woman to teach. Because an athlete like there's Oyedepo's wife. She's always preaching. She's a leader.
In fact, there's a lot of them.
You understand now? So Christianity is ladies that are feminists and Christians will not believe when you say such that Christianity does not is not how that put it, like being a Christian and being a feminist does not work.
It doesn't work at all.
But when what the Christianity that is practiced, they are cherry-picked all those that particular part of what Paul said. But even looking at the story in the Bible, when you look at the Bible, when they are telling the Bible story, when a woman's name is mentioned, she's most like something bad is going to happen to her. She's going to do something bad. There's only few.
Yeah, especially in the Old Testament.
Yes, now those few people like Esther that even with Esther's story is still kind of fucked up, but do you understand? They still celebrate Esther in one way, but Esther's story is still kind of fucked up because there's a lot of subjugation on her, where she's being picked as she has to please the king. The king is selecting who he wants to fuck. What the fuck, man?
Yeah, and you see a lot of rules that God gives, and if you study these rules, is either women are being treated like property,
yes, now,
or they are not being treated on equal grounds as men. You see so many things like that in the Old Testament, and I really don't know how people just overlook these things.
Because this is what they do now. When you show them those evil, they tell you it is the Old Testament. Jesus has gotten a new covenant. But when I abuse their pastor, touch not my anointed and do my prophet no harm. Oh God, that is Old Testament shit now. That's Old Testament shit. Stop.
That's true.
You own it. I respect Christians that own this everything in the Bible. The ones that always dance around, I look them as Ogbeni, get out of my face, you're not even serious. The ones that say yes, slavery was ordained by God. But they are very few because the Christianity of today is very liberal. There's a lot of liberalism. It has become entertainment. If you go to churches like Kozana, when you see Kozana, everywhere is popular and looking like a club. Because that's the market they want. They want people that can pay good offering. It's good business. It's business. So basically, my deconversion was just hitting me with every Bible passage I was seeing. When I now got to rape again, that one was and all these posts I was going through that Dark Matter channel. The guy was just telling the story of how it is. The rape of when you have to pay the father of after raping a single girl, a girl that is single.
Yeah, as if you are paying for damaged property.
Not even you are paying for them, and you now marry her so that you can continue. Yeah,
you take. It's just like you go to a shop now, and you spoil one good there. They now say, oh yeah, you have spoiled it, or you buy it by force and take it home.
Exactly. That's
just how it is. That
is exactly what it is. If she's engaged, it's a crime against the man, not against her.
Yeah.
Exactly. Those were the things I was just seeing the whole pattern of the Bible. Then I got to the New Testament. I used to think the New Testament was innocent. When I saw that the four Gospels are a mess, they're a shit show. I was like,
That's one serious one because
Jesus Christ is you people cannot even be even if you saw it from this angle, you saw it from that angle, but everything shows a missing jigsaw puzzle. But you now see different stories, different events. Today I even read a place where there's a Luke 9-16 was added on because looking at the manuscripts, they were not there before. I'm like, hey.
Yeah, the ending of Mark.
Sorry, the Mark, not even Luke.
Oh yeah, the long ending of Mark. Which other one again? The story of the adulterous woman. That one was one of my favorite Bible stories.
Yeah,
and I saw that this thing is added later. And the funny thing is that all these things they are not controversial. They are written in the Bible itself. They are written at the footnote there that, look, this story was not
the original.
This story is not in the earliest manuscript.
Mm-hmm. But pastors don't highlight that. People don't read their Bible deep enough to look at those tiny prints at the bottom. I did not till I became an atheist. I read more Bible now than when I was a Christian.
There's another group of Christians that will tell you, I know a lot of them but most of them are white people, Randa Rosa, Pete Enns, and co. They'll tell you that yes, the Bible has problems. The Bible is this all of these things just show you the human effort of the Bible. But they have had experiences that makes them know that God is real. That even if they have, even if all these problems are there, they know that God just permitted these problems to get into the Bible, and you can still seek and find God. So what would you say to that type of thing if you met a Christian like that?
I'll tell you that if the God in the Bible exists, I'll be ready to die because I can't worship such a person.
No, you know that they are going to tell you that that's not exactly how the God of the Bible is. That's just the corruption of man getting into. Oh. Yeah, that's what they would say.
And they'll bring in the Jesus story again, Abi.
Yeah. Yes.
But Jesus said, I and my Father are one now. So is either God is pretending or he has multiple personality disorder. Seriously, that's where when I said, when someone was arguing the hands, the New Testament, I said, I and my Father are one. They say, and it's the Old Testament. He said he did not come to break the law. He came to fulfill it. So we know what the law was that he came to fulfill. That's actually why the Bible is both Old Testament. That's why they did not throw away the Old Testament. Because of that statement, that was the statement they used to link the Old Testament back to be relevant with the New Testament.
Yeah, there were some group of Christians that were trying to say, no, the Old Testament is a different God. Yes, I think they were called Marcionites or something like that.
I think they killed them now. They killed them for heresy.
Yeah, for heresy, true.
So we'll never hear their full story. It's always from the point of the side that won. So it's really crazy. And also when I now found out that there were books in the Bible that some people sat down around the table to choose what to actually become canon.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah.
Yeah, you are choosing what is the word of God.
Yeah. I was like, so some books did not make the cut. Revelation almost did not make the cut. Because
you know that I was raised up Catholic now. In our Catholic canon, we have some extra books.
Maccabees, Maccabees. I used to make fun of that because I went to a Catholic primary school where and as a Pentecostal, we looked at Catholics as idol worshippers. Like people are doing
and we used to look at you guys as lost prodigal children.
Can you?
Yeah, that was how I used to see
because
people
we protested. We all came from the Catholics now. We protested against.
I used to see you guys as lost.
And we did not know the history. We are the ones that came from the Catholic. Protestants all protested against the Catholic. But people don't know the history of that. I did not know till I became an atheist. And also that, so all of us came from the Catholic Nisha and we are here feeling superior to them. Not knowing we are all retarded together. Isn't it, man? You
are going to offend so many people.
If you are offended, you can kiss my ass, man. Honestly, in fact, kiss my ass is even being censored.
This is why I was like, this is why I was like, I need to bring you to life because me on the other hand, I'm somebody that's I try to talk like I'm walking on bottles. Though sometimes I use violence. I don't want to offend anybody. I'm trying to be very careful. Like, just look at it this way.
Bro,
but I listen to you and you're like,
see, I put the E right there so that they know that you're going to hear words that are not for children there. And right from the beginning, I made it
all right,
clear.
So you have given us a kind of long history of your deconversion process. What are some things that you hear from Christians that are so annoying that you just want to tell them that, see, stop saying this thing. This thing doesn't make sense. It's so stupid. Stop saying this thing. You sound like an idiot.
Number one is it is well. When fucked up shit happen and people in my office are now tired because when I said it is not well, it is not well. This is what is happening. Let's not delude ourselves. The word of faith is what has caused a lot of delusional talk. Where you say when you are sick, you say no, I am strong. Nigga, you're sick, man. Go to the clinic. I used to do it when I was in secondary school because the doctors I say let the weak say I am strong. Let the poor say I am. delusion. People as in that's what that one is one of the that it is well. Then another one is we should sit on Twitter. What God cannot do,
Does not exist.
I will die. I'm like almost every time I always step dead.
Did you see that picture of the Pope, and is it a sheikh or the Muslim cleric?
Muslim and the Pope.
That they said God told this one this, God told that one that. When I saw it, what was in my mind was what God cannot do does not exist.
I'm telling you. This one say he cannot marry, but he can drink wine. This one cannot drink wine, but marry 4 wives. You see, and there are Muslims and Christians that say that the God of Islam and the God of Christians is the same God.
That's just
those ones are even. I don't know. I don't know where to put those ones. Like you all realize that the two religions are derivative, meaning everybody came from the Jewish Torah. All of them got their holy books from the Jewish Torah. They are all adaptations, spin-offs.
Yeah, true.
Basically, and you are there, but people don't know that. I did not do that as a Christian. Can you see that there's a level of ignorance they keep us as Christians?
Yeah,
they will not teach you the history of the Bible. The Bible is the inspired word of God,
and I don't even know. I don't know. Is it? I don't know if the ignorance is like is the church doing it on purpose, or it's just happened to be like that after a period of time?
It's on purpose. It's on purpose because when someone is informed, they tend to question you. And this country is a fertile ground. The illiteracy really supports the doctrines of religion. You can see even here in the South, we are more educated, but there's still a level of ignorance. And in the North, they need total ignorance there in order to have their way with them. That's why they make Western education not available for virtually all of them there. Only the elites that actually get educated to the correct level.
That's true. Now, there are some people that a lot of these things that you have said, it's really going to make sense to them.
Yeah.
But they have had one experience or so, one type of experience that they say this thing has to be supernatural. And that's what keeps them from just throwing everything away. Like, what do you think? What would you be your advice for those people? It's not like they are trying to be dishonest or something. Like, a lot of what you say is going to make sense to them, but because of so much experiences, they felt at this point in their life, it was God that there was a divine breakthrough and things like that. What do you think about such people?
I can understand why they would think so, because it's how this environment, when things that we can't explain happen, we already go spiritual. And when good things happen, by default, we ascribe it to God. We don't even realize whether there's a lot of cause and effect that got us to that point. And once bad thing happens, it's either the devil or village people.
True.
And it is what they themselves need to analyze it, that every time bad thing has happened, what have they thought? When bad thing actually happens, you say it's the devil that did it, or God is testing you. Those are always the go-to. It is the Arabs now. It is how the indoctrination, I have to use that word, indoctrination as the configuration of the indoctrination. Is how it has always been. It's how I was when good thing happened. I remember when, I think when I was in my IT, I did it in Chevron. And, as somebody that my parents gave good home training, everybody used to this staff boss that usually picks us up. So everybody in that bus, I entered there, I greet them. They are all very senior people. With all respect, I don't try to be an asshole or a smart mouth. I'm a very tiny rat to all of them. So I had to behave very well to them. And it was 6 months IT. Now, fast forward to 2012. I live on the mainland and I needed to be going to Lekki, to that Lekki side for my NYSC. And because of the respect and relationship I built with those people, I had the balls to call one of the people in that bus. And I said, what are you? Follow us now, follow us. You just drop off before we get to the office. Just follow us. And that's how I was following them. Me, in my head, I was thinking that, I must see favor of God, though. Favor of God. Wow, so this is favor of God. Meanwhile, it was because I wasn't a cunt. Because I was well behaved. Yeah. And I kept in touch as well with them. I used to greet them. I see them around the area. So I was, sir, well done. And I never thought that I'll need their help 2 years later again.
Okay.
So it's not God that did that. It was the respect that I gave to these people and leadership I built, thanks to what my parents taught me. No doubt. So those are the ways. When I think I'm like, this is not, that's how we look for things in God. Then they also say when you pass exam is God. You read.
Yeah, that one
you
is
read.
very, very,
you read.
very common.
You got first class. You read. If you do not read, you will fail woefully. And that's what happened to me in my final year. I did not read. I failed though. It was nothing for quote and unquote God to remind me about. Empty head now. So those are the things they need to know, that they always count the hits and ignore the misses.
So
they should count all their hits and look at the misses and look at the average and tell me if it's different from
look
chance.
At it together. Yeah, that's
the advice I can tell them if they are willing to do the experiment.
And there's another situation that I find quite common here, and that is the case of things like jazz, witchcraft, ritual, and so on. I listen to a lot of stories, and honestly, I've heard a lot of stories from people, a lot of experience of people, and there are many things that I can't even explain them. Like, I can't say, okay, this is what happens to you. But the problem that I notice with a lot of supernatural claims like that, like, we can't, if we say, okay, let's test them now, let's get controlled conditions, exactly. Let's get scientists of different biases, come and do your witchcraft, let us see the power here.
They will not.
We are not going to see all those people again.
Yes, now. It's all stories now. That's why I say facts tell, stories sell. The stories of jazz and juju is so sweet, and Nollywood doesn't help matters. They depict it so well. People that believe in it now be looking at, because I would say when things that I don't know, we don't know. What is hard in saying I don't know? But me, I don't believe. There's something we don't know that is doing whatever they say it is doing, or which it is stories. Because you see Yahoo boys now, are they not still pressing their laptop? Why they not just go do their jazz, JJ? They still have to work hard, even with all the
and if you some people will say, okay, they know one Yahoo boy that it used to be difficult for. Then he went to do his jazz and he started blowing.
It's a story to me.
But then what of the me? I would say, okay, what of the one? Do you know anyone that went to do jazz and it didn't blow? Like, have you picked a sample size of the ones that have done jazz and the ones that have not done jazz, and see if there's any? They are not ready for
once. It's the same thing with Christians. Hits, they see the hits and they ignore the misses.
And ignore the misses.
It's the same thing. They say, okay, this one I see him is bathing outside with dirty water, and see mad people. I say, see these mad people, they don't use them for jazz. They don't use them. Use them. Remember the story of if you pick up a note on the floor, you turn to yam, or your penis is missing.
Of course.
Was it not stories, man? And I remember that yam one, I believed it died that time, primary school. Say, or your penis will disappear. Because I looked at it like, okay, if those guys actually doing what they are doing, why can't they just fuck these politicians up?
Exactly. I asked that question a lot.
Because I'm like, among them, there will be those that are supporting them, and there will be those who are also feeling the pain of the nonsense they are doing. And they will form a coalition of attack if they are for real.
It's even something that about I asked about our colonial masters as well. Like, okay, if we have like when they came with their guns, why didn't we give them back?
I tell you, that was a good one. I remember, when I watched this Netflix series, Journey of an African Colony, when they were telling us how they came to take over, when they started from Lagos. Then is it Kosoka or Akitoye? When they came the first time that the British came, that they repelled them. And what did they use? They had cannons. They had cannons to shoot back at the British. That's how they repelled them. It's not just they used to repel them. It was the British were going decimating everywhere they go. Why? That was a good time to use the jazz and show the world. Let the British run.
Yeah, true.
But they could not. So that's when I know that this whole jazz thing is they have PR, but they use stories. They could have created a holy book and they would have been relevant.
All right, I think we have covered a lot. It's been a very fun conversation with you, as expected.
Thanks for having me, man.
It has not been less than what I expected at all. I'll be looking forward for you to have me on your podcast as well.
Yes.
So you are the one that you are going to be farming. You are going to be giving me the questions as well.
Go runner.
And all right, now thank you so much for coming to share your experience on my podcast.
Thanks for having me.
I really hope a lot of Christians are going to listen to you and at least try to, even if they don't agree with you.
And you go gas,
I
you gas
hope they are going to
you
like try
gas
to
censor
understand your point of
you
view.
gas censor, guy.
He said,
You gas censor.
he said I should censor.
If you want them to listen now, because once they hear fuckery, fuck, they are already tuned out.
It is Satan.
Mm-hmm. They are very sensitive to the word fuck.
No, I think they should be able to handle it.
They should. Then they are on their way. Because even me as a Christian, then I used to curse and I didn't feel guilty.
I'll remind them that they have the Holy Spirit and there's no power of the evil one that can overcome them. You know, according to the Bible, everybody that is not a Christian is supposed to be under the power of the evil one.
Yeah, exactly.
Is it not first Jonn 15 also that says we know that we are the children of God, but the entire world is under the power of the evil one.
That's the formula of a cult. Make everybody the other.
Exactly. I don't know how people don't see it. Like,
you can't see it when you're inside now.
There are so many things.
You can't see it when you're
inside. There's even this thing that Paul says. When Paul says the message of the cross is foolishness to those who are perishing, but to us who are being saved, it is the power of God. That type of thing is what a cult member, like a cult leader, is going to tell his followers.
Of course.
He's going to tell you that, see, a lot of people are going to see what we are doing as very foolish. But it's just because they don't have the special source.
Yeah, exactly.
They don't have the divine truth. That's why.
Holy Ghost.
Exactly. So there's so many cult parallels that I see in the Christian faith, and I don't know how people don't just join the
indoctrination is a powerful force. I keep saying it's a powerful force that should not be underestimated. When Christianity saw that killing people is how many people they want kill, they had to resort to the indoctrination. So catch them young. Before a baby start talking, their words, they didn't know how to talk. Ayeya. The conflict don't start now.
That's true.
So,
all right, let's wrap it up. Once again, thank you so much.
All right, now it's good to have this talk with you. I had to let out some things in my mind.
Yeah, thank you for bringing a bit of violence to my peaceful podcast.
The violence taken by force. So that's all for this week. If you have not subscribed, please consider subscribing. This podcast is available on Apple, Google, and on Spotify. Then if you would like to send me a voice message, you can do that via the link in the description. You can share your feedback, or if you also like to share your own story on this podcast, I really appreciate you reaching out. So thanks for listening, and I'll see you in the next one.